Welcome to our series on research methodologies. My name is David Lee Carlson, Honorary Professor at Wallow University and a professor at Arizona State University in Tempe, Arizona. Along with my colleague, Dr. Molly Ott, and faculty at Wallow University in Desi, we will be presenting you with a series of modules on research methodologies. Over the course of several weeks, we will be exploring the values and limitations of both qualitative and quantitative research perspectives, with a special focus on how, why, and when to apply them in empirical settings and situations. While we will provide you with a basic understanding of various research approaches, we invite you to consider and explore how to apply these approaches in your particular place and in your specific research interests. In this module, we would like to begin our exploration of research methodologies by giving you a brief overview of ethics. We want to explain why ethics is so vital to doing valid research. And to do that, we want to describe for you situations that have occurred historically that have led international bodies to develop criteria for ethical research practices. Ethics, as you will see, will remain part of our ongoing discussion about research methodologies. This means that research and ethics go hand in hand. Research and ethics work closely together, and ethics in particular must be at the forefront of your mind as you consider every aspect of the research process. First, though, what do we mean by ethics and why is it even part of the research process? To answer these important questions, we have to think about what is the nature of research and why is it important to a society or culture. Research, generally speaking, is about exploring a question that is relevant or important to a culture or society so that it can gather and accumulate knowledge with the interest of improving life for all sentient and non-sentient beings. Research involves a series of steps and procedures that help to accumulate valid knowledge so as to direct and guide people to improve the lives of others. Generating research, particularly in the social and human sciences, involves working with other people, getting to know them, understanding their perspectives, their experiences, their behaviors, and test hypotheses as well as generate theory. As researchers, we have to be ever mindful that we are learning about and thus working with other people. This aspect of working with others is what makes our work as researchers ethical. To have research integrity, to be able to work with others, we have to be honest and upfront with our participants about what is involved in the research process, the purpose of our research, transparent about the intended uses of our research, and care for the participants' data responsibly. We have to remember that we are gathering data from our participants, and that data is theirs to give us as researchers. Participants volunteer to be a part of our studies only after they have been given transparent and complete understanding of the purposes of the study and after they have given consent to us. Some important keywords will guide our discussion of ethics. Research processes must include beneficence, as in do no harm, and protect participants from any potential or foreseeable harm from the research process. We must show respect for each participant. This involves permitting participants to engage in the research to the extent that they wish, giving them the option to leave the research at any time and refuse to answer questions or be involved at any time. Justice, which involves being fair to participants and letting them know what's involved in the study. These key words of beneficence, respect, and justice came about after a long history in the West of researchers abusing their power and influence as researchers. Major researchers have, over the years, developed research that put people in harm's way, manipulated them without respecting the wishes of the participants, and compelled, and in some cases, forced participants into unethical process. These historical examples compelled international agencies to develop ethical protocols and guidelines to inject ethics into research. We will discuss the Belmont Report of 1974 in particular in this module. The Belmont Report of 1974 began as a response to the Nuremberg trials after the Nazi Germany, after it was discovered that the Nazis conducted biomedical experiments without the consent of its participants. The report established clear guidelines for ethical biomedical research. And although most of our work will be in the social sciences, these principles help to establish guidelines for all types of research. Generally speaking, research focus is distinct from practice in that it tries out a hypothesis, develops conclusions based on research practices such as experiments, and contributes to generalizable knowledge. In this instance, ethical concerns must be considered throughout the entire process. Three principles guide this process: respect for persons, which involves respecting the autonomy of the person and protect the anonymity of the participants; beneficence, which involves protecting participants from potential harm, respecting their desire to participate or leave a study; treating participants with care throughout the research process; and three, justice, which involves denying a participant a benefit from the research and or giving them an undue burden from the research. Based on these principles, the Belmont Report gave researchers the practice of informed consent, where the participant is fully aware of every aspect of the research process and must agree to participate in the research and has the option to opt out of all or any part of the research. They must not also be compelled or unduly persuaded or influenced to participate in the research in any way. Second, all potential risk must be made transparent to the participant prior to participating in the research, and it is the researcher's responsibility to take the participant throughout and after the research process. And three, the researcher must select the appropriate individuals or groups for their research. Some individuals and or groups may be burdened in some way by the research. In this case, the researcher must make a strong case as to why the individual and or group must be part of a particular study. And all institutional boards or IRBs need to adhere, challenge, and align with each research protocol with these three principles. Here you go. This first module will give you the great guidelines for how to design research in an ethical way. I look forward to sharing this journey with you. Thank you.